Hello, my name is Grifisher, and today I'm going to be starting a Drop Rate series to not only document my time leveling and running my mid-game account, but also to fill in collection log slots and hopefully profit some GP. I'd like to thank Alonescape for giving me the idea for this series, and I will of course include links to his channel and playlist for his Drop Rate series, and seriously recommend checking it out. Now, for the rules of this series, which might change the further along I progress my account, but right now I have set myself 3 rules on these grinds. Rule number 1. Any untradable item that I am specifically hunting for or obtain in the process of doing a drop rate grind, I'm going to take the drop rate of the item and times it by 1,000. Now, for an item with 1 in 1,000 drop rate, if I multiply that by 1,000, I would give 1 million GP away. Rule number 2. If I am hunting a specific untradable, I will go first for that untradable, and if I do not receive it in the drop rate, I will give away half the GP I made and continue the grind in the same intervals with the same rules. Rule number 3, for all of the grinds, I will give away half of my GP if I do not receive the item on drop rate, but if I do, I get to keep it all. If it is a shorter grind, I have the option of doubling down and doing an extra 1/2 of the normal drop rate, and if I still don't receive the item, I have to give away all of the GP gained in both grinds. Now, for episode 1, I'm going to be doing stone chests in the Lizardman Temple to get this Eric Talisman. For some reason, I still don't have it. In this stone chest, the Xeric Talisman is a 1 in 300 drop chance, and if I do not receive the item with that drop rate, I will take half my loot and add on 300k for the times 1000 of the drop rate. Now, if I don't receive the talisman after 600 KC, I will repeat the same process until I receive the drop. Now, let's get on to today's grind. The Lizardman Temple is found just south of the Farming Guild, and I will be using a skills necklace to teleport back to the Farming Guild to bank, and then running back down to the Lizardman Temple. My inventory is very simple, with coins, a stamina potion, antidote plus or anti-poison, as the Lizardman can poison you, and a lockpick. The stone chest is technically a part of the thieving skill, requiring level 64 thieving to open and awarding 280 XP per successful attempt. Why do I say attempt? Because at the minimum level of 64 thieving, which I am, to unlock the chest, you have a 31% chance to successfully open the chest. Although, with a lockpick in the inventory, this chance now increases to 41% chance to successfully pick the lock. Now, there is also one other mechanic of the chest that is quite annoying for this grind. Upon an unsuccessful attempt to pick the lock on the chest, you have a 1 in 8 chance to get teleported out of the Lizardman Temple. You have to run back inside. Starting off, I want to get a rough estimate of the grind, so I completed 60 KC and received roughly 44k GP, which comes out to being 734 GP on average. If I do receive the Xeric Talisman on drop rate, I can expect to see roughly 220,000 GP, which is pretty abysmal. Although with drops like Onyx Bolt Tips giving up to 100,000 GP and C drops going up to 32,000 GP, I have a chance of profiting some decent GP. Another interesting drop on the loot table is the 1 in 100 chance for medium clue scrolls, which I will be completing in the grind and opening all of them at the end. Now, I will be resetting my loot tab for the chest and starting fresh for 300 KC. Let's get to it. The first challenge, that was not bad. Considering overall, I've opened this chest 82 times and 22 times since you guys last saw me. I was not expecting that one. Alright, well, since the stone chest grind was cut rather short and only 22 KC, I've decided to go for a little bit of a bigger task. In hopes to fill some collection log slots and possibly get some combat achievements, I'll be killing Sarachnis for the 1 in 100 drop rate of the crystal key. Some things to note for this grind are that on average, Sarachnis kills are worth roughly 32,000 GP. So over the course of 100 KC, I should be looking at roughly 3.2 million. I'll be using my new fully charged Xeric Talisman and teleporting to Xeric's Glade. Then I will run west to the eastern Forthos dungeon entrance. My setup will be pretty mid-game, although I might make some changes along the way, feel out every kill, decide what I need in my inventory, and what type of armor is going to work best. So for this grind, I'll be using the Nezi Helm, Amulet of Torture, Blessed Hide Body, Blessed Hide Chaps, Dragon Boots, Berserker Ring Imbued, Barrow's Gloves, an Imbued Zamora Cape, an Abyssal Bludgeon for my main weapon, and then a Dragon Dagger for my spec. In my inventory, I have one Divine Super Combat Potion, my Xeric's Talisman, a Teleport Out, 10 Prayer Potions, 10 Sharks. Probably switch that up depending on what I need. And I'll kind of update. Doesn't really matter too much. Just going for KC. Overall, I'm going for speed here. I'm going to see which setup works best. I might switch to a higher strength bonus with Bandos Chestplate, Bandos Tassets. If I feel like my kills are a little too slow, or if I feel like supplies are lasting a little too long, I'm going to switch it up. Probably won't update you on that unless I switch something up major, like a weapon. But I'm probably going to feel it out for the first couple kills and update you. Now, to start off, I'm starting with 1 out of the 5 Sarachnis combat achievements. Depending on how I'm feeling, I might go from 3 on my main focus. Of course, I'm going to get Novice and Champion. The other 2, I'm not too worried about. If I'm feeling bored, I might go for them. Now, my collection log, I have 3 KC completed. Nothing in there, of course. Possibly might end up with some. All right, let's get to it. So I just hit 4 KC and got the giant Igsack and Grimy Snapshot again. So hopefully we'll be making some money. And 2 KC later, we got this drop. And that is 10 overall KC. Well, I can't make this one up. 16 KC. And that's the challenge done, I guess. So now here at the end of the grind, I now have 3 out of 5 combat achievements. My collection log shows 2 giant Igsacks, 16 KC. Then I got that crystal key. And roughly 405k. I did start on 3 KC, give or take. So really, in this grind, it was 13 KC to get this 1 in 100 drop. Alright, since both the first and second grind took a fraction of the time that I originally planned for them to take, I'm going to do one more challenge. In the last grind, I obtained this crystal key from Sarachnis. Now, normally, you can get the loot path or tooth athletic key on the GE or as separate drops, which you can then combine to make the crystal key. Now, this key is special because it opens this chest here in Taverley. The crystal chest has a unique drop rate of always giving 1 dragonstone, as well as a variety of other drops ranging from 750 GP to rune items worth 37,000 GP. For this section, I do not care what I get from the chest, as long as it is an item that can be obtained anywhere else in the game. So I'm going to open the chest with the key from my Sarachnis grind and see what I get. In the last clip, I received the raw swordfish drop, and by itself, it isn't much GP. But I wanted to use the crystal chest to decide what my next grind was going to be. Whatever item I received, I was going to find the source of that item with the lowest drop rate and obtain it from that source. In the case of the raw swordfish, the lowest actual drop rate is a 1 in 64 chance from brine rats. Considering the rune plate legs can be a 1 in 1500 from revenant imps, I think I dodged a bullet there. Brine rats are a slayer monster with 2 requirements to kill. Slayer level 47, along with the completion of the Olaf's quest. They are located in the Brine Rat Cavern and overall don't have a relatively profitable drop table. Their most sought after drop is the Brine Saber, which sits at roughly 300,000 GP. At a 1 in 512 drop rate, I don't expect to see it, but if I do happen to obtain that, and not the raw swordfish, I will give away all the GP I made in this episode. Now, looking at my setup, I look very goofy, and I didn't realize that till I got down here, and I don't really feel like going back to the bank. So, inventory, prayer potions, divine super combat, 2 sharks, and pretty mid-game melee setup, amulet of torture, Banos chestplate, abyssal tentacle, arty cloak, Nezzy helm, dragon defender, berserkerian imbued, dragon boots, barrow's gloves, and I guess a priest gown, because I accidentally had that on instead of my tassets. I caved, went and got my real pants, and since this grind should be pretty short, I think I'm just going to show all of it. Alright, quick update. I'm already at 16 KC and I received a medium clue scroll. I will do this and include it in the end. I just don't feel like going back now, so I'm just going to keep this one. Alright, there's 64 KC, no drop. Interestingly, I did receive 1 unnoted raw shark, which is 1 in 128. But originally I said that I will give away all the GP I made if I obtained the brine saber, but not the raw swordfish. Now, since I didn't receive either, normally I would just give away half the GP for this. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give away all the GP I made in this video, which is roughly 500k. I will see after this medium clue scroll. I will give all of that away. Let me get to this clue scroll and add everything up. Alright, a 6-step medium casket. Let's see what it is. Not too bad. 88,000. For 22 KC of the stone chest, I received 11,000 GP. And for 16 KC of Sarachnis, I received 405,000 GP. For the brine rats, I received 35,000 GP. This plus the 90,000 GP from the medium clue scroll comes out to around 541,000 GP, but I'll round up to make it 550,000 GP that I'll give away. I haven't completely decided on how I want to give away the GP yet, as it is my first episode, but I'm willing to take suggestions on how I should go about doing so. For future episodes, I might do more or less challenges depending on what items I'm going for, but considering I was spooned on the first 2 challenges today, I decided to do more. I'd like to thank Alonescape once again for the idea, and I'll link his channel and the playlist for his Drop Rate series in the description. Thank you for watching.